comic on my birthday. I had to do that. So, at the risk of sounding like it's a shameless plug, I have a book coming out on Tuesday. It's called Letters from an Astrophysicist, and it contains correspondence I've had over the years with the public on all manner of very personal, private things that I just never talked about on YouTube videos or on shows such as this. And you've never seen me debate a creationist, for example, or a ufologist. They're in here, okay? Conversations with them in this book. Someone asked, is there a large hairy ape wandering the Pacific Northwest? I engage that person in this book. 3 letters are from prisoners. One who's serving time and he won't be able to watch his kids grow through their teenage years wrote to me and said, I just learned that they like science. Is there any advice you can give me that I can share with them to reassure them that I still love them? I mean, there's some heart-wrenching stuff in here. What I want to do is read to you the epilogue, if I may. It's very personal, but it's the epilogue.
Don't cry!
I know, I might. There's some demanding people out there. Read it! Don't do this! Read it! Okay. Damn, y'all. Okay, I gotta put on my old people glasses, so hold on. Because I'm an old fart. I'm probably 60% gray, and it's all tinted now, because it's like, yes, in a couple of years I'll come out all gray, and I'll be with y'all. I see some gray folks out there, right there. Okay, I'm with you, okay?
By the way, Neil, we call that hair color.
There you go. All right, epilogue. A eulogy of sorts. A letter to Dad. Saturday, January 21st, 2017. Based on a eulogy I delivered to friends and family here in New York City at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church. Dear Dad, thank you for a lifetime of wisdom you bestowed upon me, drawn from moments, circumstances, and incidences in your life. With your permission, I'll share a few of them, which for me rise above all others. I've never forgotten the story of your high school gym teacher who highlighted your body type as one that would not make a good runner in the track and field unit of class. Your reaction? Nobody's going to tell me what I cannot do with my life. You immediately took up running. You also ran in Hitler's Berlin Stadium for the 1946 GI Olympics. The post-war world was not ready for a traditional Olympics. So this special event contested soldier athletes of the various theaters of conflict around the world. And by college, you became world-class in middle distance races, at one time capturing the 5th fastest time in the world for the 600-yard run. Drawing upon that example for inspiration, I have overcome the most negative societal forces on my life's ambitions. I've never forgotten the story of your best friend, Johnny Johnson, also a track star, competing in a meet against the New York Athletic Club. In the day, they of course admitted only wasps. So athletic blacks and Jews instead competed as teammates for the Pioneer Club, founded for that purpose. As Johnny came around the last turn in the quarter mile, he was ahead of the New York Athletic Club runner by several strides when he overheard the fellow's coach audibly yell to his runner, "Catch that nigger." Johnny's reply to himself was simple and direct. This is one nigga he ain't gonna catch. And lengthened his lead to the finish line. What today might be called microaggressions, back then were parlayed into forces of inspiration to excel. From that example, I've used such occasions in my life to excel beyond even the expectations I held for myself. You told of immigrant grandma's work as a seamstress, grandpa's work as a night watchman for the food service company Horn and Hardart. A good thing, because he would occasionally bring home leftover food when the money was tight. Your stories of strife were never hate-filled, never bitter. Instead, they were hope-filled and inspirational, conveyed with tentative confidence that the arc of social justice will continue to bend towards righteousness. I carry that vision for society's future into every day of my life. You studied hard in school and took your interest in social justice all the way to your appointment as Mayor Lindsay's commissioner of New York City's Human Resources Administration. Journalists don't write articles about news that does not happen. But the programs you enabled in the inner city, empowering the youths during the powder keg years of the late 1960s, ensured that any unrest or disturbance would be mild. Sure enough, New York was calm compared with what went down in Watts, Newark, Detroit, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, and especially in Chicago, Washington, D.C., and Baltimore, for which federal troops were called in to quell the violence. You worked behind the scenes on this, with your only reward, the quiet knowledge that the nation's largest city did not burn during the most turbulent years of the most turbulent decade in American history since the Civil War. Striving to do what is right, without regard to who takes notice, should be a model for us all. Your stories and perspectives about navigating people, politics, funding streams, and the legacies of institutions deeply informed my successful efforts to create from whole cloth a brand new Department of Astrophysics at the American Museum of Natural History. You taught me that in life, it's not good enough to be right. You also must be effective. For that, I now count the formation of that department as one of the highest achievements of my professional career. So, Dad, this thank you is simply public notice of what I have already thanked you for in life, bestowing upon me guiding principles for living my life to the fullest, and along the way, when possible, lessening the suffering of others. I know I will miss you, because I already do. Cyril deGrasse Tyson, rest in peace. October 1927, December 2016. Love you. Comic-Con, there's nothing like a Comic-Con community, a Comic-Con audience, where the biggest fight anyone gets into is whether your cosplay was authentic. And, if the world were run by Comic-Con attendees, it would be a peaceful place, and we'd have technology taking us into the future. So, who would have ever thought that the geek set, who was pummeled and bullied in school, would become one of the most strongest economic forces of the land, as well as the people who everyone else comes to fix their computer. So I just want to say the Comic-Con community is a very special community. I don't want any of you to forget that. Surely you won't. Thank you for indulging me in this letter to my father. He was 89, so his death was not tragic, but I miss him, as we miss so many loved ones who have passed. But you can tell, if you speak of a loved one, you bring them back to life. And this is part of what it is to carry wisdom, insights, and love from one generation to the next. Comic-Con, thank you. Have a good night.